Hey, I didn't live. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I haven't lived. Well, I mean, I lived from like when I was born till now, but I haven't died just yet. Rob. Or dob dob dob. Rob a dob dob rob a bob a bob bob a bob a bob rob. What? Anyways, I got ice on my bottles, all frozen. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And I don't know how I'm not doing it. And there's Daniel and Miss Tiffany again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Or just Daniel tonight. I always assume Tiffany's around somewhere, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just presume that it's just Daniel, unless otherwise corrected. We're getting the one pour, and by the way, these are not light pours, gentlemen and ladies. This is a 2 ounce cup. At least I think that's what it says. I know it's a 2 ounce cup somewhere. It says under. It says. I think the package on this is 2 ounces. For some reason, I read that as I'm deleting a refill. I was like, how the hell do you delete a refill? So that one kind of threw me off. My reading sucks right now. Apparently, I can't read. Deb's getting a refill. And I'll have to ask Deb when she gets back to see how how well, she probably doesn't have anything yet on the second batch, but you never know. Could always ask, and she might, for all I know, have like 14 more hatching. Damn, where'd everybody else go? It didn't take me that long to get back on here. It was like 4 minutes. And only because I stopped to water a bush. Which was probably a stupid mistake now because I opened the floodgates. But hey, you know what? Sandwich camel. Why does that one look fuller than normal? And there's Grace. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello again. Good evening, Grace. And maybe potentially Michael if Michael happens to be there. I'm trying to remember everybody's names and who all is where with whom and what. I'm not sure if Mr. Rob has a significant other or not. He has never mentioned it. So, greetings to whoever's listening in the background at work. Rob smells of liver and fish and beer. Hey, and there's Blake. Right on time for the second live. All right, sorry. My bad. My apologies. There you go, Blake. Got to get the standard greeting in there. Otherwise, it's not a Blake and Cliff greeting. All right. We have Bathy Beverage, High Octane Tea, which, yes, it does look like tea. Very, very dark tea. 16 to 18 days to hatch. Ooh, Rob's solo at work. So he's got the bounce going on in the background. That's actually not too bad. 18 days to hatch. Rough estimation. So we're looking at what? Because you just put them in, what, a couple of days ago? So I think you said you were going to put them in Friday? So we're looking at what? The 15th, maybe the 16th of next month? And we'll find out what happens. So cheers for anybody who's partaking. Blake, I'm pretty sure you have one of your light beverages over there. Oh, starting over tomorrow. I thought you said you were going to plant them on. I just said plant them. Uh, Thank you, camera, for being weird. Focus, 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 focus. Hey, hey, look at it, focus. I got punched in both mine. There we go. Obstacle. There's my drinkers. What are you drinking tonight, Blake? I know you got something, you wiener. I know you do. It's Saturday. I know you ain't got to work in the morning. What the heck is a knockoff monster? Coffee monster, knockoff monster, water and more coffee. Rob, what in Jesus' name is a freaking knockoff monster? I've never seen one. I seriously look like I got... Really? Blake, you're drinking boiled hot dog water? Come on. God, this boy, I swear, is giving me shit today. Hey, look, there's Mr. Jason. He finally finished his homework and he can come out and play now. Oh, wait, what's today? Saturday? He was at the VA. I think, because he's going to be doing that. I don't really shop at the dollar store all that often. I go to Dollar General every once in a while, but oh, internet's been sketchy the last few hours. You got storms going over there or what? God, I need to ice my face or something, man. Like my face, look, I seriously look like I got punched in the head twice. Almost looks like I don't listen well. So anybody who knows that joke, thumbs up to y'all. For the rest of you who think that joke sucks and is wrong, well, that sucks. No, just a provider. Ooh, stable for 20 minutes. You got horses? No, that's wrong. I bought stuff at Dollar General, and the items that I bought cost me a total of, I think it was like $6 and like 10 cents. Because there's still tax. You all got to understand that tax is still applied regardless of what you buy. So even if it's $1, you still have tax, so it's going to be like $1.35. That's just the tax. And the tax really isn't on the product. The tax is processing fee for most things. Or compensation pay for, I don't know, whatever the hell you want to call it. But anyways, I will throw this thing out here. We may... That too, and whether or not there's cameras. I just noticed I do not have my YouTube set up on a thing for my thing red. It's just red. Spy, do not give a damn about stupid Minecraft movie. You couldn't pay me to watch that. God, what is everybody like? All of a sudden, everybody's looking at these this 400-watt solar blanket, which is like 16 solar panels. And I legitimately forgot what I was actually doing. Why I actually went to YouTube in the first place. What the hell? What in the cheese factory fart clam sandwich? Wow. Went on to shorts and it's like mine are like the top 3 right now, which is weird. I don't see how. How has I got no views on my stick, but yet my thing is showing that I have $1,600 or 1,600 views. I don't know what I'm. Give me. My brain is just shut off. Let's try this again. YouTube. Let's find myself. Why is my live? Because they changed it. That is why. Haha, muted myself before it went. Muted myself before it went. Oh, yeah, that's the Dollar Tree, though. Yeah, tax is the government's cut. My Dollar General still has stuff labeled as $1. Whether or not that's actually true at checkout is a whole other sandwich. Because, again, you still have tax. So it'll say $1, but like I said, it'll be like $1.35. No, you want to know what extortion is? Car insurance. And health insurance. Health insurance is a big ass scam. And life insurance. Life insurance is bullshit. I'm gonna straight tell you right now, life insurance is garbage. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Speaking of spam, spam is gross. Federal taxes and extortion too. Well, yeah, I mean that also depends on what you're buying at the Dollar Tree or Dollar General. Larger items are going to be a little bit more expensive. You can't get an 8-pack of toilet paper for $1. That's going to be $5 or more. Same thing with like paper plates. Paper plates, like a stack of 100 paper plates, usually about $3. More expensive items because I mean, look at the stuff that like Dollar General, Dollar Tree, has like in store in stock. You're not going to buy a big old thing of Tide dishwashing soap or laundry soap for the same price that you buy a freaking bag of chips. Bag of chips in most of those they're going to be appropriately priced about $1 to $1.50 less than your standard store because I think Dollar General gets all the crap that's going to be almost expired from a lot of places, and then they sell it at the cheaper price so it goes faster. Because I've looked at the prices for things like that, like frozen foods, milk, things like that, milk, water. I mean, you can still get like a gallon of water for like $1 or $1. It's like $1.50 with tax, I think. But that's probably like the largest bulk item for the cheapest price that you can actually physically buy in a Dollar Tree or Dollar General. Is that like 1 gallon Arizona water or Arrow water? You can get those like dirt cheap, and I mean dirt cheap. Yeah, I've got Dollar General and Family Dollar. Can probably even find a Dollarama, but I think those are only in Denver. But yeah, we have DG, FD, and DG and Dollarama in certain areas. So yeah. Oh no, I lost a person. No, who fell in the basement? Just kidding. Oh, you know what? I was gonna put that on there for just in case these funky wieners decided they wanted to pop up here. I was in the middle process of doing something on YouTube side, and it took me a second to find my thing, and now I found my thing, and now I don't no longer know what I don't not know what I'm doing. Ooh, how do you have both dollar stores in one building? So you got Dollar General and Family Dollar all in one place? That's weird. That is really weird. Yes, I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. I haven't had an accident on my vehicle in almost 20 years. Their whole thing with that is if you don't get in an accident for a certain time, they lower your premium. So I get a discount on what I pay every month, but all the years that I've paid into having car insurance, if I wreck my car, they're going to be like, "Oh, here's like $5,000 to $10,000. I've given you fuckers like 30, 40 grand over the course of however long I've been doing this." Wow, camera, really? I moved like 4 inches back and you have a heart attack. And what is this thing doing? I'm trying to get it to focus. Hold on, folks. All right, we're going to have to do this the easy way. Yerp, 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 yerp. I think about it. I mean, some of us are paying upwards of like 3,000 a year for car insurance, and say you do that $3,000 a year for 15 years. That's 45K. 45K that you have put into the insurance company. And if you get in an accident, they're like, "Here's 5 grand. What am I going to do with 5 grand?" That doesn't even cost. That doesn't even cover the cost of the engine. If I blow an engine, or I get in an accident and my engine explodes, that doesn't cost. That doesn't cover the cost of the engine. Shit, that might cover the cost of the 2 front doors on a vehicle, depending on your vehicle. I look like I could Down syndrome all of a sudden. But yeah, it's like the insurance is the biggest damn scam out there. Yeah, if you get in too many accidents, your insurance company just gives you the middle finger and you get nothing back. You don't get a deductible. You don't get any compensation. You don't get like what you would get for like renting an apartment. You don't get back first and last rent's month, or first and last month's rent, or your supposed deposit when you don't break anything in the apartment. You barely get that back, and half the time they give you back half of it. 2,600. So yeah, almost $3,000 a year for insurance, and they give you a pittance of that for an accident. And Rob, how are you paying 170 a year? That's like 210 USD. I have to agree with you on that one too, Blake. But at the same time, that one's kind of that one's a bit of a gray area, because if you hit a deer, technically it's your fault, not the deer's fault. The deer are just following their natural migration patterns. We just happen to be a-holes and decide to put a road through where they go. So technically, we're really the ones at fault if we happen to hit a deer. But here's what I'd like to see out of that. If you're going to at least hit the deer with your car, and you can prove that it wasn't on purpose, you should be able to keep the damn deer. My opinion. And then in some cases, in some states, yes, you can actually, if you hit a deer or even an elk, you can keep the carcass if the State police and the rangers can verify 100% that you did not hit it on purpose. I believe that is the case if I don't think Obstacle came back, or did he? Oh, yeah. Yep, he did. Nope. Where did he go? Did Obstacle come back? Oh, little shit. No, he did not. I was going to ask him about that because I know they had that law in Denver where if you hit a deer, yeah, there you go. There he is. Yep, see, there it is. Yeah, that was even when I left, that law was still in effect where if you could prove that you did not hit the deer on purpose, like you went out of your way to hit it, then yeah, you can actually keep the carcass, take it home and process it. No, even without being a licensed hunter, if I'm not mistaken, one of the weird subsequent like funky bylaws up there is if you can prove that you did not hit it on purpose, like you did not like swerve off the road to hit it, and like if you actually genuinely try to avoid it, like if there's skid marks saying I tried to stop way back there and you can see the skid marks, I think you're still allowed to keep it. How many times have you actually said yes for that? Or, well, for that matter, how many times have you actually hit a deer? Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Sometimes a lot of that stuff is cheaper just to settle it out of pocket or just to, make an arrangement. Ah, interesting. So it depends on the officer at the time. Interesting. Here's the thing I'm going to say right now. If I hit a deer and that thing goes through my window and it's laying dead in the back seat, I'm not fucking stopping. I'm going to go to wherever my destination is. If I happen to have a cabin in the woods and that's where I was going, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to take the damn thing out the back seat. To hell with the front windshield. I'll just call Safe Flight. Or if I have a buddy that's in glass repair, I'll be like, hey, yeah, I had something came through my window. I'm not going to say what, but I need a new front windshield for this vehicle. And if you got to, yeah, just get a new window. Sometimes your insurance will cover a window up to like $200 or $300, depending on the insurance company. It's not in my truck. I don't. Deb, I have a nice Toyota, a fairly large. I got a Toyota four banger, but no, a Toyota Tundra. It's a 4-cylinder Toyota Tundra, but I've got a decent amount of clearance on that thing. If I hit a deer, I'm hitting that thing dead center in the body. It's not. If it happens to go through my window, that's because the damn thing's trying to jump over the road and I hit it. That, yep, safe flight repair, safe flight replace. Exactly. Yeah, see, exactly. If they don't know you hit it, see, that's the thing out on those back roads out in the mountains. There's no cameras out there. So if you don't stop, say you're in like one of those old like 85 Ford trucks, and I'm talking like the old beater trucks that's like 4 people wide, but it's like 12 feet long and made out of steel. Yeah, you hit something in that, you just keep going. Radiator leaks a little water, and you just stop on the side of the road, pee in the radiator, put water in there, and you just keep going. Call your buddy in town and be like, hey, I need a new radiator for this. And they just bring you up one and you put it in there in the weekend. And then you're good to go. Oh yeah, well yeah, exactly, Rob. Those old ass Volvos and because everything back in the day was made out of steel. You hit steel and it's like, oh, there's a dent in it. Whoop de doo. I'll just keep going. Yeah, well, yeah, deer are uninsured unless you live in the mountains. What did he hit? A freaking moose? Or an elk? But then again, they also did make a small Dodge Ram. Not the big ones. Shit, my sister hit a buffalo in her Jeep. Fucked up the front end of the Jeep, but that was about it. Didn't go through the windshield. Yeah, and I bet the only way to do that is if they were jumping across the street at the time when you hit them. Oh, yeah, I freaking bet he did. Probably sure he did. I'm pretty sure he probably dislocated both shoulders too, and most likely broke his clavicle, which he's lucky he's not dead hitting a deer that fast. Crotch rocket. I got you, Deb. Well, yeah, on that one, Jason, of course deer are uninsured. It's not like they can go to the deer MV and just be like, yeah, I need to get car insurance or human insurance for just in case I get smacked by a Chevy S10 small block with headers, a blower, and a freaking steel grill. Just for the funniness on that one. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you do 80 on a freaking mountain road in a crotch rocket. Ooh, yeah, that's... Ooh, that had to have been messy. I hope you weren't good. It probably split it in half, didn't it? Or, like, what is that, bug on a windshield? Splatter. Molly, you need to go to Denver. The deer up there, I swear to God, I've seen elk and deer do it. They use the damn crosswalks in certain cities. Which I swear to God, when I was a kid, I thought I was tripping balls when I saw an entire herd of moose or elk. There was like 9 of them. I kid you not, standing at the corner waiting for the light to turn green so they could go across the street. Oh yeah, dude, you badgers are evil little bastards. Well, Jason, get your butt up here. I'm pretty sure I posted this damn thing in the chat. I'm gonna do it again. You want to tell a story? Get your butt up here. Yeah, it's surprising that the badger doesn't just climb in your door and start chewing on you like a bum. Right as you get on here, the phone rings. Really?
Yes. Hello. Hold on.
Yep. Right? Gorilla's gonna be like curb stomping the badger, and the badger's just gonna get up and start chewing on its ankles. They're starting to take this shit way too far. They're like 100 Americans versus 100 Brits, and Josh was like, "We're gonna die, mate." Big herd of deer that stayed in a big city park in Lander, Wyoming. Deer are smart. People think deer are stupid, but I kid you not, they're freaking smart. I bet you watch. If you asked Obstacle, you still in here? I bet he's seen it too up where he lives. I bet you the deer and the elk up there use the damn crosswalks in the cities. And they don't just walk across the street. They literally wait for traffic. No, I got what you had on that one. No, deer aren't stupid. They can be in times. Like you snap a twig and a deer all of a sudden becomes brain dead. Or when they're faced with two headlights, they apparently turn into statues. Oh, the revolving door is going to lose. And most likely, 4 Americans are going to at least have a broken arm and a broken leg because we're stupid some days. But the 1v100 challenges is some of this stuff is just getting ridiculous and out of hand. Like the whole stupid man versus bear scenario. If a woman was out in the woods, would she choose a bear or a man? It's like, bear's just going to eat your dumb ass. Sorry. Oh. And I'm actually feeling pretty good tonight. I might actually have a second one. Because still got a good amount of snacks over here to munch on. Another one I ran across is, would you rather fight one pig-sized rat or 100 or sorry, 1,000 rat-sized pigs? I think I'd rather take the one pig-sized rat. But he also had a machete. So that could be interesting. You never know. I would honestly legitimately take the pig-sized rat versus 1,000 rat-sized pigs. Because, I mean, essentially, they're both going to eat just about everything. Especially if you starve them enough. I want to click this button. Somewhere in a high school, there's a question that is going to ask people, what do trees look like? And the next generation of kids are going to be like, what the hell is a tree? Yeah, Daniel, on that one, I would say yes if it was coming down to building something out of virtually nothing. I would say yes on that. Me being a redneck, I can attest to this. Knowledge is out the window, but ingenuity is through the roof. If redneck was a D&D class, you would already have a natural 20 on freaking ingenuity and creativity. You wouldn't even have to roll a savings throw. You would just be nat 20 on those particular skills. Hence the redneck ingenuity. Well, you can't stop a redneck from doing something. If they want to do it, they'll find something to do it with. They're also the ones that, build shine stations out of like 4 or 5 parts, and they're like making 40 gallons of shine a week in the backwoods. So, yeah. I would take 20 rednecks for a lot of things, but certain things, no. And something is, I can still feel that thing blowing on me, like literally. Did I get it? Yeah, I got that stupid ass hair. Got the other ones too. That's Deb's version of Frank's Red Hot. But yeah, so look, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. But right there is my little camping fan. Here, let me illuminate so y'all can see. Seriously? Fucking hairs everywhere. So right there is my little fan. I got that thing hanging up there. It's up there a ways. It's like a good 5-6 feet above me. And I can actually feel the airflow coming down. I missed his ass. Missed his ass again. A bug's going to get in my way and I'm going to knock my damn glass over. I'm going to be pissed. Oh, smack my light. Shit. That is a good question. I do know we have a lot of revolving doors around here. A lot of them. Even those entry gates for like the zoo and the museums, or sorry, the zoos, like for the back entries, it's technically a revolving door, even though it's a bunch of like fingers attached to a metal pole, but still considered a revolving door. Or is it revolving bars? I don't know. I'm not 100% on that one. But yeah, we got revolving doors all over the place. Airports have a buttload of them. So there we go. That's the better question. Rob, do the airports in the UK have revolving doors? No, my back entry is not a revolving door. That door is a one-way only. And that's some bitch airtight. Yeah, turnstile. Well, no, the turnstile would be the ones at the subways, wouldn't they? Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Turnstiles were the subway ones. And that's those 3 fingers that are like cantilevered like this, all weird. See? So there you go. We would win on the revolving doors. Sliding doors. There's nothing secure about a sliding door because you can just push them from the bottom and the damn thing just pops off. At least that's how it is in the US. It's funny how nobody ever notices that a revolving door only has a track on the top side, not on the bottom. I have never even heard of that movie, Deb. So I cannot. Never even heard of that movie. Oh yeah, 1971. That's why. I'm too freaking young. Flora are extinct on Earth. An astronaut is given orders to destroy the last of Earth's plant samples. What? Why in God's name would you do that?
All right, I'm back.
Oh, that actually almost gave me a start.
Vroom, vroom.
Was not expecting. Yeah, again, Grace, I've never heard of. I'm sorry, not Grace, Deb. I've never heard of that movie, but I just looked it up. But yeah, interesting movie. But for the love of Christ, why would you destroy the last of the freaking bioscape samples for like biodiverse plants? And because plants give you oxygen.
Hello, Obstacle, Grace, Rob, Deb, TD.
And Deborah. Totally.
Deborah was, yeah.
I mean, do you really need to have a police car through sliding doors? I mean, when was the last time the UK had to have a cruiser inside of a convenience store? I mean, I guess it would be a great way to block the entrance, but at the same time, isn't that what the key is for, to lock the door? Well, yes, Deb, in that one I will agree, because we have some of those people I'm actually not even going to continue that statement because I don't want to piss everybody off. We'll keep pole dicks out of this. I mean, yeah. Also, welcome back.
Tomatoes are stupid.
I believe you had a story to tell us, Jason.
Well, when I was younger, way before I met Molly, I had to do, community service. And
For what?
Hmm?
What'd you do?
no, I was getting paid for the state.
There's a Mr. Rob Haze.
Say,
Yeah, it was for the was it the earn? It wasn't working, so to get some income, I had to do some work at the animal shelter. Middle of summertime, in the desert. I get there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and one of the gentlemen was already out, recovering a horse that was on I-5 that got hit by a truck. A big giant big rig. Totaled the big rig, where they had to go out there with several wreckers.
that's like hitting a brick wall.
How? Don't most big rigs have those big freaking
This is
grills
back
on
in
the front?
92.
So still.
Yeah, this is back in 92.
You bastard.
It took both rear axles out. Front axles were all messed up. Hey, Rob.
How the hell did a
Hey,
horse
Jason.
take out the back axles on a rig?
It did, and it smashed up the whole front end, dislodged the engine. The horse ran across the interstate, so the truck was really moving.
Well, yeah, I understand that. I mean, that's only, about a 2,000-pound animal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get back to the story. Is he had to go out there. The gentleman went out there to grab the horse out of the horse trailer, and by the time he got back, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and they pull in, and everybody wants to go see the dead horse. So everybody runs over there, looks inside the horse trailer. I look in there, I'm going, anybody want any horse jerky? And everybody scattered to go on Ralph. I'm sitting there laughing about it, and the guy who brought the horse in with the trailer goes, "Okay, you're going with me today. We gotta go to the processing plant to get rid of it. You just volunteered."
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Oh yeah. So that was an easy day.
That horse had to have been like obliterated, though.
Oh! It was. It was. Yeah. It was a mess.
Yeah, scraping up with a couple of shovels and a spatula.
It was already smelling nasty because it was already 103 degrees.
Well, I swear to God, I'm gonna just suck you into my lungs and let you decay in there. Damn, I missed again. I'm trying to hit this thing without knocking over my glass.
Oh yeah, well.
It's not easy. It's a little tiny bug. I'm pretty sure.
What's going on, Rob?
Oh, not much.
You at
Putting
work
40
or
hours overtime.
So you're still at work then?
Yeah, 40 hours in the next 10 days.
Ah.
On top of my 60-something.
Wow, that's a lot of hours.
Yeah. Being alive's expensive, right?
Oh, no kidding.
That it is. Do you at least get overtime pay, or does
Nope,
that not?
flat rate.
Oh, salary. Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely need to move to the U.S. Because
Well,
we pay overtime here, depending on where you work and what times you work. You get
some-
time and a half, or
Yeah, some places are
they
salary,
pay.
so it's the same boat as he's in now.
The healthcare sector globally does not pay overtime.
yeah, I will not work a job where they do not offer, where the option is salary. Because you can work 110 hours and you're still getting paid the same damn amount of money.
Well, I just get paid a flat hourly rate.
Oh, here? No, you just get, I prefer the hourly rate for myself.
Yeah, I'll take hourly over salary any day of the week.
Especially because of overtime.
Yeah, especially when it comes to overtime
Or time and a half or holiday pay. Shit.
or comp time.
Yeah.
Well, we're on the night staff, we're salaried because we don't actually work a full year. We come up short by about 50 hours. So they have to pay us up the extra 50. So we
That's
get,
your vacation time.
no, that's separate. So we get that, and then if we do any overtime, it's just a flat hourly rate. So we don't complain too much because we get basically a week's salary for free each year,
Uh,
and then we get holiday pay.
At least you get holiday pay. That's at least decent.
Actually, I'm not even sure what this year's holiday pay is. It's supposedly improved.
Oh, damn, Daniel, I'm sorry. Sorry, I did not mean to come out that way. You're lucky I didn't follow that sentence with those damn shoes again. Sorry, but yeah, no, that sucks. I would hate to be there for 22 years and then just be made salary. I mean, like, no, I decline. I would 100% decline taking salary. Unless you're giving me like 120,000 a year. No, thank you.
Yeah. That's why I love the comp time. It was so much nicer. Any overtime I got put on the books.
Yeah, no, there ain't no, like I said, unless you're paying me 100K plus a year, I ain't going on salary. I'll take standard regular ass pay every day.
I just can't wait till the end of the fiscal year. I will have so many hours.
Yeah, you're gonna have what, like 3 weeks to burn for almost 2 weeks for 2 weeks to burn for hours.
4. I still carry over another 40 hours. If I don't take any more time off.
Vacation, bro.
If I don't take any more time off, no, I'm gonna have several weeks at 3-day work weeks.
Yeah, you could do that.
Oh yeah.
So apparently, I make £2,700 in holiday pay this year. Not complaining.
That's close to $3,000 USD. That's not too bad.
Sometimes I miss the 14 vacation or holidays a year I used to get.
How the hell does one get 14 holidays in 1 year? There's only like 7.
Oh, well, the city I worked for gave us 14.
Including Cesar Chavez.
I got Cesar Chavez Day off.
I get 21 days a year.
In Arizona.
And your birthday?
Oh, and my birthday, yeah.
Damn, the obstacle, doesn't your knees and hands get a little tired after a while?
Yeah, Deb, but that's why I stopped being a manager.
No, I won't do a manager. No.
No, Deb, no. I know how that crap works in the food industry, and there ain't no way in hell you're paying me salary.
I took a £22,000 pay cut, and I'm financially better off.
Yeah.
Salary is not the answer.
Where's that?
Where do you?
Oh, it's a good thing we all get along in here, because some of these jokes would just be like, I know some of these jokes would just piss people off.
Oh, I know.
Piss people off, that's my specialty.
No, I like leaving them confused and bewildered and speechless.
No, see, I like to make you feel like I've complimented you, and all I've done is rip you a new one.
And they
Joys of being English.
Face, what in the world just happened?
Deb. I love all y'all. This is why I keep doing these. Man, where the hell did everybody go? All of a sudden, we're down to like 4 people. Damn, I got Jason and Rob up here, and everyone's like, "Peace, I'm gone."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're just terrified I'm going to start taking shots at them. Which is ironic considering you're in America.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you taking shots is like hitting a barn door with a rock 2 feet away.
I'll take a shot. Some Bushmills, please.
Yeah. There you go.
Maybe a sniffer of brandy.
Deb's walking around in public with her horse. I'm not even going to finish that statement, but she knows what I'm talking about. Horse pickle.
Horse pickle.
Yeah.
I like to twist the words.
Oh, twist their words. Yeah.
So, Rob, if you're still ever in the UK and ever decide to visit, we doing a pub crawl or not?
What, a pub crawl in the States?
No, the pub crawl in the UK, you dingo.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I was going to say, a pub crawl in the States, what's that? 5 hours of drinking 1% tepid piss?
No, you're not shit. No, dude, we got some.
You
some
got to hit at
down
least
here.
10 pubs in one night.
Yeah, we
you
call
only
that
hit
warming
two,
up
and then you
over
might be able
here.
to find a third one.
Excuse me, an inn.
I say 10 pubs is a warm up over here.
That's what I'm saying. You walk down there for like 5 minutes, you hit like 9 of them. You walk
So-
down here for an hour, and you only hit 2.
The main street in my town is famous for its pub crawl, and the list of people who've completed it, I think, is still single figures.
Goddamn, how many pubs you got down on that street?
25, I think.
Holy
Plus
shit.
Wow.
2 nightclubs, a strip club, and a couple of bars.
You have to go to the strip club to complete the circuit?
You don't have to, and I recommend you don't.
I was gonna say I'll avoid the strip club and the nightclub, and then we can hit the regular pubs.
So, if you want to visit the equivalent of Trenton, New Jersey, please do visit our local strip club.
I'll pass on that one. I don't have enough. I don't have enough pounds to throw at them.
I can do it in a week.
No, Deb. Bad Deb. Bad.
We had a friend of ours who flew over earlier this year because he wanted to come drinking with us. Well, he spent 2 days in the bathroom begging for mercy. And then loudly explained, I don't understand how you people are alive. Do you hate yourselves?
Was he a skinny dude?
Oh, no. He was genuine American. You know, the sort of person when his pager goes off, they think he's backing up.
And he lost to a pub crawl in the UK?
Yeah?
He is now disowned from the US. You can keep him? Actually, no, we'll send him to freaking China. China can have him. How dare an American lose? Most of us can outdrink an Irishman.
Used to.
I probably still could.
So the problem is a lot of people forget the British don't drink for pleasure.
Yeah, they drink to forget.
We drink to quell the anger within. And we are a nation built on rage.
We're backwards here. We drink and then get angry.
No. Like I said, the old saying is the reason why God invented whiskey so the Irish wouldn't rule the world.
That'd have to be vodka in Russia then, too. Yeah, exactly, Daniel. Who the wants to go to Trenton, New Jersey?
No.
There's only one reason why I would even venture to New Jersey, and that's to go visit Garden State Gardener.
Yeah, but that's not good. That's going to be somewhat rural.
Ooh, they're still pissed about the Tea Party.
Do you know the funny thing is, we didn't even know the Tea Party or the War of Independence had started till it was nearly over.
That's sad.
There's a quote from King James, and it's along the lines of, effectively, really, that's nice for them.
Right.
It's like father who doesn't care.
What really gets me on that whole thing is the fact that whole river was cold brew tea. Those fish had to have been like, what the hell? Why'd my water turn brown all of a sudden?
So they did one of the universities did a study on that, and they reckoned it would effectively be weaker than American coffee.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're dumping a whole boatload, but I mean that was in like a whole river?
Yeah.
Oh, they estimated it to be in the trillions of liters of water.
Yeah, can you imagine all the caffeinated fish?
Them fish were zooming, bro. Yeah, them fish were like Hey, Dad, I'm over here. Hey, Dad, I'm over here. Hey, Dad, I'm way over here.
A couple of years back, I flew out to the States to give a lecture on the War of Independence, and there was a right know-it-all in the group.
Oh, there's always one or two of those somewhere.
You're the sort of person whose job is to try and find a way to sit at the end and go, "Yeah, told you so."
It's about the
Well, he hadn't actually met an English person and our ability to be sarcastic about everything. So, 20 minutes in, he'd wound me up enough to I pointed out if there was another one, his mum would want to be independent from him at birth.
Ooh.
That shut him up.
I'm gonna have to remember that line.
Sarcasm on top of sarcasm. I thought we were bad in the U.S. for sarcasm too. I mean, that sarcasm flows out of pores over here. But then again, it's the eloquent wording of the UK that makes it all the worse.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we can make you feel like we've paid you a compliment, and all we've done is tear you a new one.
I can imagine us three at a pub ripping into millennials.
Oh my god!
Right. As a rule, if there's a millennial in the pub, you ain't got a pub.
I don't even think millennials know what a pub is.
I'm sorry, but if their legs are skinnier than the bar stool, they're not welcome.
That's rough.
Or the Gen Zs. Oh, I have fun with them.
I will say this. If you walk into a pub or a bar, this may or may not be discrimination, but if you walk in there with a fucking man bun, you better turn the hell around and get the hell out.
Yep.
After I've cut it off for you.
Because, we ain't having that sophisticated drink BS in here. Now, we in here to have a good time, not listen to you crying about your pants don't fit right.
So one of our local pubs is named the Black Prince, after one of our famous princes, ironically enough. Inside it, we have suits of armour with swords. Everyone's convinced they're replica swords. It's like, yeah, go run your finger down them.
Yeah, they're meant replicas.
No, we don't do replicas. We do stuff that will mess you up.
Yeah, there's a reason why a lot of those suits, depending on where you're at, are either behind glass or in areas where it's like, do not touch the suits.
Mm-hmm.
Because those blades they're not BS blades. They have an edge to them. They will cut.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, the oils in our hands will actually start breaking it down.
It'll corrode them.
They constantly need to be cleaned and shined.
Oh yeah, when everyone jokes about any movie you've seen in a pub fight involves someone going through the window with a bar stool at some point. That's more of a documentary.
Same here.
The thing is, you have a pub fight over here. Dust yourself off and carry on drinking. That's it. Problem solved.
Yeah.
No one is shot. No one is killed. No one is married to their own sister.
No one's stabbed 15 times and left in the alley to die.
No, you have a good old-fashioned punch-up and carry on. I think that's why we have less violent crime.
I think it's because everyone over there is drunk. Well, then again, I can't say that. I can say the same for over here. Everybody's drunk, but us, for some reason, Americans, when we get drunk, we just get more angry.
No, we just get drunk, have a fight, shake each other's hand, and carry on.
Yep, good old days.
Which, to be fair, would be a great way to run a country.
Oh, the amount of politicians I would just punch in the face. Ooh, I would have a field day. Wait, Deb used to go to an Irish pub? Oh, here.
Now, is that an Irish pub in America? In which case, it is neither Irish nor a pub. Or an Irish pub in the UK? Because even that's something slightly different.
Oh, I would like to go to some of those pubs there in the UK.
Oh yeah, there's a lot less violent crime over here.
No, I meant just the historical ones.
Oh yeah, we've got some. Well, I'm trying to think where it is. We have one of the oldest pubs in the country in my county, I believe. Have a look. Things to search on a work computer.
Yeah, see, well, I mean, it is the UK. That's like going to Ireland and be like, oh, well, there's one pub every mile, but that 1 mile is like in a 20-mile radius. So that's basically one pub every other mile.
I'm just looking at the list of the oldest pubs in the UK. I think I've drunk in 10 of the top 12. If you want some real history, you have to go to Oxford, and there's a pub not much bigger than the room you're sat in, Cliff. It's so small that if I have to change the barrel, everyone has to go outside. It's where Bill Clinton famously didn't inhale.
Now, you know pubs like that are tiny-ass little pubs, they go through hundreds of customers a day just because of the, like, nostalgia effect, or just be like, there's no way this pub does that much. And you go out there and there's like 50, 60, 100 people sitting outside on benches or whatever they got for tables. And you're like, how in the hell is this one pub serving this many people?
Because they work by machines.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You go there for the experience, not for the beer.
Yeah. Exactly that. And a lot of the older pubs are family-owned, family-run.
That's what the majority of the pubs are in the UK, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm wondering if that's
the good ones.
We have chain pubs like we call Wetherspoons a big chain over here. They own pubs everywhere, and they're like cookie cutter. Everything's the same. Food, drink, everything's the same. No personality. And then you have the independents, which are more expensive but much better.
Remember, obstacle. They're still on the metric system.
Oh, now be fair. You've been using the metric system in schools for quite some time.
So remember that's 340 metric people and 68 million metric people. That's standard.
Oh, come on, you've been using the metric system in schools.
No, we use standard over here. Metric system.
No, I can pick up any paper and it tells me about the 9 mil usage in schools.
Yeah, I never learned metric. I use standard.
And anyway, we all know Americans measure things in William Shatners and Redwoods and refrigerators and Corvettes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Americans will measure everything and everything other than
what it needs to be.
Well, yeah, there's a huge difference between a meter and an inch. It's like 3.5 feet. I'm going to get another one because this is entertaining tonight.
Oh, that bar is no longer.
I'd rather buy my gas by the gallon than by the liter.
Yeah, I'd rather buy the gallon, yeah. No, I was just looking, and that bar is no longer there.
Which one?
The one in Lancaster, California was called the Booby Trap. It is no longer there. That's a bummer. That was a big time biker bar.
Right. Well, I suppose you have a name like that. There's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, of course, yeah. Obstacle. We're not talking about distance because the distance between me and my refrigerator is about 12.
Okay. I have some answers for obstacle. Right. Intentional homicide rate. You are ranked 7th, we're ranked 74th. Murder, you're 9th, we're 34th. Murder per million, you're 43rd, we're 94th. Can you see where this is going? We are less violent.
Well, yes, because everything over there is regulated.
Now, would you like to talk about healthcare or education?
No, because over there, in order to, like, stab somebody or shoot one with a unalive somebody with a lead spreader, you have to fill out 14 different things of paperwork, file it with 7 different companies, fill it
You know,
out,
you're
and
not actually that
send it,
far
and then
off.
wait 6 months to get a reply back.
You're not that far off.
Here it's just like, yeah, I don't like that guy. Pow pow. Yeah, okay, well, I'm done with that. Obstacle, we're just being funny tonight, brother. Ooh, I made a mess. Damn good mess too. Shit.
Uh-oh.
Ugh. Licking my table.
Speaking of which, Jason,
Yes.
my local dealership has got some of the new Target pew pews from Daystate in stock,
Ooh.
and they're starting at £1,200.
Oh.
$3.
About 2,000 almost.
Yeah, probably. But these come as full kits: scope, bag, and bipod.
Oh, that's actually a good deal.
It's a storming deal,
Yeah, it is.
and they're available in FAC variant as well.
Yeah. Here, try and get it like a Daystate Red Wolf. Yeah, $2,000 right out the door. That's it. That's the pew pew only.
Yeah,
No scope, no nothing. And I believe it comes with the what do you call it, the programmer now.
yeah. Well, they've got an app for it.
Yeah. There's the programmer that you plug in so you can do the changes, because it is a electric solenoid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 12-position electric.
Yeah.
The urge to buy one.
I know, that thing is just like, and they are works of art.
I would need more overtime.
Unfortunately, I don't get overtime.
I do every once in a while, but that's a very far and few between for me getting overtime. My boss does not like me getting overtime. I make too much money when I do.
And I think our only dealer is Air Guns of Arizona.
But you're not even in Arizona anymore.
I think Utah Air Guns sells them too. I'm not sure.
Pyramid have got them in stock.
Who?
Or had them in stock, I should say.
Pyramid Air?
Oh, Pyramid Air has them?
Did have,
Well,
yeah. Although you might find that 10% levy suddenly makes them a lot more expensive.
Yeah. Let me look here.
Yeah, speaking of which, if that's the case, I need to go and buy some more pellets, because I don't want to run out, just in case they actually start doing away with lead down here.
Yeah, I know. That's why I've been trying to buy as much as I can.
Yeah, we've been limited to what? I say limited, we can buy one case. Which, over here, a case means 12 boxes of 24 tins.
Yeah, about 500
Yeah.
rounds.
Okay, I do not see Daystate on their list.
Oh, that's a shame.
They probably pulled them off then already.
Yeah, they got Daystate, and then they got Diana, and that's it. Or Daisy and Diana.
Didn't she die in a car accident?
No, actually, the Dianas are. They're good.
Princess Diana.
That's Cliff. A case of pellets over here is nearly 30,000.
Oh, case of pill? Oh, I thought you were talking about LR, like rounds.
Oh yeah, because we can just buy them at whim.
Yeah, I wonder if I can contact somebody and say, hey, can I just buy a case that, a case from you, and I don't have to buy it from anybody else, straight from the distributor?
30,000 pellets, though. Wouldn't the weight of that crush basically the bottom inch and a half of the box? Like, because lead weighs a lot. It's not a light material.
Let me see here.
Well, there's a reason my local range keeps it on a metal rack.
Yeah.
Not in a display case.
Well, no, I understand that, but if you've got 30,000 lead rounds, and I'm assuming you're talking like 177 or .22, not the standard like 22 LR or whatnot. I'm assuming the weight of that at some point is going to start crushing the ones at the bottom.
No, actually, it doesn't.
Those tins are pretty robust.
They are. And it's also the way they're also packaged too.
Well, are they packaged in
In foam. They are packaged in foam from JSB.
Well, no, are they packaged in like the little tins, or are they packaged in like little boxes, like
500.
individually?
They come in 500 and 250 round tins, depending on what you are purchasing, what caliber.
So
And
similar to like what the Crossman comes in for, the
and
one
they're,
set.
they're stacked 10 high, and they're inside of a foam um, canisters to fill in the gaps in between them. And I can't remember if I think it's 8 or 10 high, but I can't remember exactly how many left and right. I can't remember.
Well, no, I mean, that's what I thought. So when he said 3,500, I thought it was just like in a big tin state, similar to like.
Oh no, not like an ammo can.
Something like this. So you basically just got like a
Ooh.
tin full of ammo bits, and I'm just like, that would start crushing the ones on the bottom. But if they're packaged individually in like small tins, box, and yeah, that I can understand because that makes more sense to me.
Yeah, now it depends if it's 177 or 22.
If you shipped a can that big full of lead through the postal system, you would set off every terror alarm going. You can get into trouble for shipping bananas in the post.
For shipping bananas?
Yeah, they're radioactive.
Oh, that's right.
Fuck is a banana radioactive?
Because potassium is a radioactive element.
Yes.
And you can get into all manner of trouble sticking them in the post.
Let's see. This gentleman.
Even if it's like local?
Yeah, because it sets off the detectors that goes through the system.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Certain hand lotions do the same thing.
That's Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, just ask Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, never been a fan of Jeff Dunham.
Okay,
Yeah, unfortunately, over here, anything in the post now is so scrutinised they can tell you what you're getting before you know it.
Yeah,
the
they'll tell you
point
whether
where
you're getting a fine for shipping something.
oh well, the police can get to your door faster than the post, and then you have to sit down coffee time chat.
Shit, so then I guess in that case it'd be faster to ship stuff to the police station and then have them ship it to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because if you go send something to somebody that's, radioactive or whatnot, yeah, it's going to ship it to the police station and be like, why were they shipping this to your house? I don't know.
Well, we have no privacy here anymore.
But it got here 4 days earlier than the post.
Where is it? I'm trying to find it.
I wouldn't think shipping potassium would be an issue because they ship pills all the time.
Yeah, but they tend to come in a bottle with a label and instructions.
If somebody, when they go through X-ray, cannot tell the difference between a freaking RPG and a freaking banana, something is definitely wrong.
To be fair, inter-table nuclear ballistic buffet warfare is a real thing.
I guess, apparently, shit.
Where is this? Is a post that he posted a long time ago, and I'm trying to find it.
To answer your question, TD, not as good as it used to be, and also better than it ever was. We had a new chief of police come in a couple of years back. She's a career officer. She hasn't just come from college. And if I remember rightly, on the first day, she suspended 20,000 officers.
Holy shit.
Well, her platform was basically, we're the police, we're meant to be making the public safe. We don't want rapists, thugs, violent offenders, and racists in the police force.
Makes sense.
So she went through the list of everybody who had been conveniently forgotten to be investigated and got rid of them.
Oh, it sounds like the good old boy syndrome.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, we need more police officers. No, you don't need more. You need better.
Yeah, I would definitely go with that one. Need
Yeah.
better.
And do you know what? It's worked. The public respect for the police has shot up,
That's good.
and more police officers decided to quit
Yeah, because they knew
before
they
they.
were on the chopping block.
Yeah, they were going to get caught. So yes, we do need more police officers, but while we've got good police officers, we're happy.
That
Oh, yeah.
honestly just goes to show how many corrupt officials in those departments are around.
But the thing is, it wasn't just low-level cops either.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, it's the majority of the time it's going to be the higher ups that are
It's the
hiding
boys' club
stuff.
mentality.
Yeah,
'Cause one of the things we do, I don't know if it works the same with you. If you join the police force over here, say you live in my county, you cannot work in that county ever. So you have to work in a neighbouring county or relocate completely.
Yeah.
well, and if you relocate
uh,
to another county, you can't work in that county technically.
No, you can because you don't have any familial ties.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's whole anti-corruption.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to arrest a family member.
yeah, it was like that
New
with the city of
line.
Tempe. For the officers, they had to live outside the city.
Makes sense.
The
Well-
very thin blue line.
Yeah, well, that's for one, that's a damn good movie. But at the same time, obstacle. We live in America. You know full well, ain't none of the damn bastards thin down here. We have a bunch of fat cops. Donut suck bastards. There's no thin in the U.S.
Is that line thin or is it really, really far away?
It's really, really far away.
Yeah.
Through binoculars, but the binoculars are backwards.
Wait.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of the powers you guys have I really wish our police force had. But I'm also glad they don't.
Well, aside from what, I don't think even your police officers over there, they don't actually carry firearms, do they?
We have firearms officers. We have taser trained officers. And if you move into like central London, you'll tend to see more armed police. But as a rule, no. They have a whistle, an extendable baton. I think they all carry pepper spray now for self-defense. But that's it.
What, no taser guns?
Some officers are trained to use them.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to go through a lot of training with the taser, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't see how, because I mean, well, okay, I can understand maybe reloading the cartridge, but at the same time, it's basically just point and shoot.
No, it's there's a direct relationship between the amount of people who are tasered and the amount of people who take long walks off high buildings.
You don't tase the guy that's about to commit suicide off a 15-story building.
There's been studies done, and there's a correlation between taser victims, quote unquote, and people who take the long walk. So now they have to be super careful if they use it, and provide backup care and everything else.
That's crazy.
Well,
And only that, to actually be trained with a taser, you actually have to go through and be tased.
being tased. Well, the
Yep.
former
So
head
you
of
know-
the former head of the armed police was tasered on national TV to show it wasn't deadly, quote unquote. And he did it all, and 6 months later he killed himself following a manic depression, citing that event.
I've never been tased. Here's the funny thing: I actually own a taser.
Aren't they legal in parts of the states?
In some states, yes, they are illegal, but my state is not, because they shipped it to my state in a so-called gearbox.
Oh, right.
Specified in the packaging when I read the card that it came with, and it stated some states regulate tasers, and this item may or may not have been switched with a different item of relative value.
It's fair enough.
I got the taser, therefore it is not illegal in my state.
Oh, interesting. See, over here,
Yeah,
that would be a Section 5, which is a minimum of 10 years.
Oh shit! I better not walk around with a damn taser in your country.
So, pepper spray, CS gas, whatever you guys refer to it as, is a Section 5 firearm in the UK. Minimum of 10 years for possession. It goes up if you use it. So, we had a company create something called Farb, which comes in a canister, looks exactly the same as pepper spray, and it goes off like neon red expanding foam. Non-lethal, non-toxic. Good luck getting that stain off your skin.
You gotta wear
You
it
will
off.
walk around looking like an extra from the Teletubbies for weeks. And that's perfectly legal to own because it's biodegradable. And if I remember right, you can eat it.
I would not want to eat foam.
But if you get just look it up on YouTube, it's FARBGEL.
Yeah. So how much of an irritant is it?
It is an irritant.
Yeah.
It'll send you to the opticians if you're not careful.
So essentially, from the looks of it, my guess is that's a cross between foam and pepper spray.
Except there's no pepper spray in it because that's illegal.
So it's like getting freaking smacked in the face with silly string that sticks to you.
And dyes your skin.
Wow.
The problem is, it's like shaving foam. The more you irritate it, the more air you put into it, the bigger it gets.
And you might as well hit them with we have that crap down here. It's called wall insulation spray foam.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Sticky.
The fun bit is when they get covered with it, and the first thing they do is grab water.
Oh, that makes everything worse.
Yes.
Because now you're foamy, bright red, and sticky.
Well, see, the thing is here with expanding foam in the U.S., that stuff gets hot. It doesn't just expand; it burns
this stuff gives off a bit of the old warmth. What you shouldn't do is go on Amazon and buy a can of it, and you shouldn't get drunk with your mates, and you shouldn't wait for him to fall asleep and spray it down his waistband.
Oh!
And you shouldn't laugh and film it and send it to his missus.
Wait, so here's an interesting question. Is liquid heat illegal in your area?
No, we call it icy hot.
Well, we have icy hot here, but liquid heat is an entirely different thing.
Yeah.
You fill a bottle of that and spray somebody in the face, and it is not going to end well.
Like wasp freeze?
Oh, yeah, that stuff's legal here. We use it in sports.
Yeah.
Yep.
How long ago did he post that? Jeez.
Ah!
We can own AR-15s and 50 cals over here as well.
Yeah, you just have to jump through a lot of
It's not the
fire
owning
hoops.
that's the issue, it's getting them.
Yeah, sorry, Daniel. It took me when I read that, I was like, "What the heck is FOFA?" And then I was like, "Wait a minute, I know that." Took me a second. It took me a second. Shit. I think we're one of the few states where you can actually own an anti-tank rifle. Now, mind you, it's going to be regulated, but we can still own the damn things. Getting a hold of an anti-tank round or rifle on top of the ammunition is something you got to kind of jump through a few hoops to do.
Now, all of those parts we could legally own over here. Take the firing pin out of the anti-tank, therefore it becomes a relic. Own it with no license. I can own all the constituent parts individually for the round.
Yep.
Just can't put it together.
Same with a lot of states here in the U.S. You can own the... So it's cheaper to buy the parts to build certain firearms
Mm-hmm.
than it is to actually purchase the completed firearm. Now, sometimes the companies may or may not send you the actual firing pin, so you can get the build for, say, relatively cheap, but you may or may not have the option to actually fire the darn thing. So certain, we'll say certain.
Yeah, here we can use it
calibers-
for hunting hogs.
If you have licenses for that,
Are we
most
losing? Are we?
likely, yes.
Have we lost
I
Cliff?
think I might be having some internet issues here.
Nope.
Well, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got nothing.
I hear,
You're fine on my end.
Cliff facing in and out.
Ooh.
I
Yeah,
just
so-
have a circle for Cliff now, spinning freely like a wheel within a wheel.
What the heck? No, I'm like full Wi-Fi on my end, so I don't know what y'all.
Yeah, we can own most things here, including if you've got $1,250 laying around, a matched pair of vehicle-mounted MG42s.
I
My local carries everything.
when I was in my younger days, I had the option of buying a 50 BMG for about $1,500. I kind of regret not ever picking it up, but then again, for $1,500 at the time, would it have been really good BMG, or would it have been like on the low end of the spectrum? And if I
Well,
shot
ask
the
yourself.
round out of it, would that thing have bananaed the barrel?
Ask yourself, are you willing to put a thumb in it?
No slap rounds, and it's always the table's fault.
I mean, I had the money at the time. I gotta know. It's kind of, cause see, I can talk about guns. I'm not really into guns as, most of Americans are. I prefer to, instead of sitting behind a pew and letting the round do its business, I'm kind of along the spectrum of, I'd rather cut your damn arm off with a sword and watch you,
Cliff, you would enjoy walking stick fighting.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what the term is for it, but it's a real combat sport. The British invented it.
I think the more personal end of dispatching an annoyance is more fun when you do it by hand, in my opinion. But then again, I probably grew up or was born in the wrong era of humanity's timeline.
Yeah, it should have been 200 years ago.
At least I've been told that I should have been around when like Lewis and Clark era, like around then, I would have had a blast.
Yeah.
I can imagine Cliff jumping in the air, screaming in an anime voice, "Death by 1,000 slaps," and just setting about the person.
Wham! Knowing me, I would have been, this is the hand of God, and smack the ever-loving smack out of you. Like 360-degree powerhouse right to the side of the head. Whack! You just hear that clap from like 4 blocks away. I'm like, what the heck was that?
This is why we invented the sword cane.
Yeah. That's why we
So-
invented the gun cane.
So we could get around being thuggish.
Yes.
And then we quickly outlawed it like every other bloody thing.
I mean, sword canes are nifty, but I've always thought that that's kind of weird because unless you have a specific type of sword cane, like the way you grab it just seems weird. Because if you get the one with that little T at the top where you hold it kind of like, shit. Hell, I don't even know how to. Damn, I got nothing I can use to hold that. So basically, if like you grabbed a T and you're holding like, you got the base of the T in between each fingers and you hold it like that. Like when you twist and pull it, do you use it as a stabber or do you like weird?
No, you hold it like an epi.
Or do you just go below the handle where the cross piece is at and hold it that way? But then
You hold it
can't
like a
get no
fencing sword.
flexibility.
Oh, like a foil?
Yeah. But when we outlawed them, we found a workaround because the British don't like rules. We have gardening canes, which is a standardised walking stick, but as opposed to a twist handle that lifts out, there is a folding saw blade that drops out and clips into the handle to make a very nice bow saw.
Almost like the yard weasel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find a workaround in any possible way.
Where'd that go? Well, you did obstacle. I understand that nobody's going to come and rob my house with a sword, but here's the thing: anyone
I
trying
don't
to
know.
break into my house, they're not getting very far because I will cut them in half. I don't have a readily available lead spreader, but I do carry a katana, and it sits right next to my bed. And my doors are locked, so they'd have to get through my door. And the minute I hear somebody at my door, that sword's going to be pulled. The minute they get through my door, they're going to be impaled. But I understand that a round of high velocity fishing lure or fishing weights can get there faster than I can get to the door with a very long knife. But in the dark, they don't know what they're coming into.
Oscar Pistorius used that defense.
I go back to the, we'll say, what is that? What I forgot the name of the movie. Ooh, crab sandwich on a burnt toast. Oh my god. My brain just like completely fried. What is the name of that stupid movie? They did 3 movies and a really bad TV series of aliens, and it had God Almighty.
There's a lot of those.
And no, it had the main character. One of the main characters was Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh.
Starship Troopers.
Oh.
Oh.
When the guy goes, put your hand on that wall, and he freaking chucked that knife under and he stuck his hand in the wall. So you can't pull the trigger if you ain't got no fingers. Something like that. But yeah,
You cannot push the button if you incapacitate them.
Right. A punch knife. It's a punch. What's a really long punch knife?
They're illegal over here.
Obstacle, that's the reason why you come to these live chats, is because common sense goes out the damn window. Plus, we're Americans. Most of us don't have common sense anyway.
That's why OSHA was invented.
OSHA, yeah.
Again, they'd have to get in my door. My doors open outwards, not inwards. Plus, I got solid oak doors. Good luck kicking that in. Ooh, sandwich.
A sandwich? Oh, wow, it's already 10:30.
Well,
wow, damn.
Currently, by my front door, as I've been gardening, I have a very large, high-powered weed sprayer and a flamethrower.
Those are legal.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. But at the same time, unless you're coming through my house with night vision, you ain't gonna see what I'm doing. And like I said, all my doors are locked. Even my room door is locked.
Cliff.
When I hear that thing wiggling in the middle of the night, nah.
Cliff, the judge told you we're not allowed to see what you do at night.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to see what I do at night.
Freaks come out at night.
What was that?
Freaks come out at night.
Oh, the freaks come out at night? Yeah.
It's probably why I like staying up late.
I'm quite lucky. We've not had any trouble here since the firearms officers raided the house next door.
Oh.
There's a whole story.
Yep, been through that. Neighbor.
Well, we had this really nice couple, really quiet, beautiful Alsatian that used to come round for fuss. I can't remember their names. One was Russian and one was, I want to say Chechen, which should have been an alarm bell in the first place.
Yeah.
But they were really polite, kept the house nice, always said hello, Christmas cards, Easter, all that malarkey. Gorgeous dog. Then one day, middle of the night, sky's bright blue, people are beating on the front door, and it's like, I'm going to someone up in a minute. Go downstairs to be greeted by a lot of black shiny things and being shoved back in my own house. Turns out there are running guns.
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
So obviously we have all this going on for a couple of weeks as they come back interview. I was like, they're really nice. They bought us a Christmas card.
Right.
And the whole thing, I'm just thinking of Lord of War. He's a really nice bloke. He buys artwork. He's killed thousands of people.
We
I haven't
have
seen that movie in a
barbecuing
while.
every weekend.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
But it's just the fact, everyone's like, what happened? The whole neighbour's like, what's going on? And we're like, but everyone likes them. We have no crime.
And your neighbors are running freaking illegal firearms.
Yeah.
Now that is some shit right
Yeah,
there.
it is.
Even after it all settled down, like the whole beat Bobby comes down and says, so how's everyone adapting to what's happened? Is everyone okay? We're like, yeah, they were really nice. It's like, we'll just ignore what they were doing because look how nice the house is.
That's the whole watch out for the quiet ones kind of scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird because my area is, or was, predominantly right-wing white. So those two moving in should have flagged a few alarm bells to begin with, really. But they genuinely were the nicest neighbours I've ever had. The dog may have swung it for them.
Why was the dog an a-hole?
No, the dog was gorgeous. It was like just a massive long-haired Alsatian. And you'd come home and it'd be like flopped out on the front of your house, waiting for you to pet it. Like, do you live here? Pet me.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
They was probably using the dog to smuggle funds. Then, if that's the case, they were like one of those St. Bernard whiskey barrel rescue dogs, where they have a big old freaking whiskey barrel there. But instead of whiskey, that thing had like a Glock 9 or some shit in there.
But the people we've got living there now, well, I'm fairly certain the woman is an actress of a certain variety.
Ah,
A stage.
Midnight Girl.
We'll put it this way. My bedroom window faces the rear of the houses into the gardens. And I didn't have to pay that month's subscription fee.
So I was right, a Midnight Girl.
As me nan would have called her, oh, she's a good time girl.
That's funny. Oh, now I can actually hear none. Oh, shit.
But, yeah, they're not nice.
Oh.
I don't like my neighbours.
Oh, I thought you meant your nan isn't nice. I was like, damn.
Nah, my nan's dead.
Oh.
She's been dead a long time, like 20 years.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one who was member of the SOE.
Yeah. I know didn't have to be about that long ago.
Yeah, she didn't have to be nice.
It's like saying Gen X doesn't have to be nice.
But Gen X didn't get paid to go and unalive certain members of a certain military organisation.
You did if you were in the military. Depending on what branch you were in.
Yeah, no, I mean, Nan was a bit of a hellraiser. She was very opinionated on just about everything.
Yeah. Well, it was fun messing with my Nana because when she went from English to Spanish, it was hilariously funny. And we all laughed and it made her even more mad.
Well, we always found if it was quiet, we'd put the snooker on. Have you ever watched an 80-year-old use every swear word to tell someone to hurry up and hit the ball?
Yep.
Oh, never watched a match. Just watch her watching the match.
That's nuts.
All right, guys. I'm going to call it now because it is almost 8 or 10:30.
Ooh, so is that now volume 5? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's only 4:30 here.
I want to get some sleep.
Sleep is for the weak.
No, I gotta stay sharp for the customers.
customers are for the week.
I'm gonna be dead tired, and I'll still be smarter than the damn customers. I got
No, the customers pay my wages, so
same, but dealing with the stupid questions that can be clearly answered by reading the damn signs.
I read the package.
Yeah, that too. How many light bulbs come in this? It clearly can tell you there's 2 of them.
Yes. No, one of the funny things is, what was it? The one I had was about a year and a half ago. I walk around, come down aisle to turn down aisle 12. I look there, and I see a gentleman with. He opened up the box, the breaker box. Okay. I asked him, "Can I help you?" He goes, "Oh, I want to see how these things work." And out of my mouth was, "Hire a professional, or excuse me, hire an electrician. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to die." That shocked face, just like, really, you just said that to me? And I says, yeah.
First off, if you open an electrical box, there ain't nothing in it other than the box and the freaking slots for the breakers.
He wanted to see how it worked. No, didn't know how to do anything. I'm going, nope, hire a professional. You're going to die.
But you can only die once.
Well, yeah.
I mean, let's give them a fighting chance.
That is wrong. You can die multiple times, but it really just depends on how good they are at resuscitating your butt.
It depends which state you're in and how big your bank account is.
Yeah.
That's true.
And what kind of insurance you have.
I'm gonna be a DNR and then put on my thing that organs are pickled, do not use. But anyways, I won't keep you any longer, Jason. Molly, you guys have a good one, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah.
See you later, Jason.
Right, and always remember, all the toilets at Lowe's are all white.
But it's up to you to work out which ones are plumbed in.
Yeah. Well, considering I live in an area not too far away where all the dental records and the DNA match.
Ooh. Wait, you live next to Arkansas?
No, Louisiana.
Are you suggesting you live near a place that has a 5-head as opposed to a 4-head?
Yeah.
Was that Sniper's Dream when you got a 5-head?
Well, let's see. You've been to Louisiana.
No, as a matter of fact, I have not.
No, Rob.
I have.
Ooh,
So what you're telling me is it's less for Gene Pool and more for Gene Egg Cup.
Yeah, out in the sticks, yes. Not in the city, but out in the sticks. The rural areas.
Bordering Arkansas.
Where everyone is their uncle's sister.
Yeah.
Uncle, sister, grandma, grandpa.
Kissing cousins.
The kissing cousins, yeah.
It's not a crime if it happens in Arkansas.
Well, that's only, 3 hours away.
Ooh.
All right, guys. Have a good night. I know we're stereo.
Good night, Jason. I'll catch you.
Good night.
Night, Molly.
For all the custom.
Night,
Yeah.
sweetheart.
All right, good night.
And then it was down to me and Rob. Oh, no. 2 big boys left in the room. Oh, no. Whatever shall we do? Let's eat some
Everyone's run away.
Run away, he said. That's funny. Oh, hey, look, there's Deb. Nice to see you, Deb.
Hello, Deb.
Oh, my God.
I can believe that.
Deb, I work in a pizza industry. I shit you not, the amount of times I get asked that question. And I'm like, first off, I have one of the walls, like the backdrop, when you're at the counter, the back wall of my front store or the front of the building I work in is a solid black wall. Looks like the background up top. I have 4 circles cut out, each one of them circles in white cardboard with black marker. Tells each size of each cutout and how many slices they have. And they ask me, how big is a 7-inch? fucking right there on the wall.
So I
How do
can
you
go,
not see that?
how big's a person? Like, you look at him and go, looking at you, 18 inches, mate.
Yeah, and they're like, how many slices does a large have? And it clearly states on this cutout, 14 inches, 12 slices. And they go, how big is your large? 14 inches. I usually just, most of the time, my sarcastic ass just points to the fucking wall because I'm like, it's right there, you blind ass monkey. Wait, what? Obstacle, what are you talking about?
I feel we may have missed both the joke and the punchline.
Yeah, I think we did too.
And possibly 2 weeks in Yemen.
Might have been a weekend stay at
A weekend
the
at Bernie's. I assume Colin is unboxing his boxes.
I am completely flabbergasted, lost, and I need a road map that does not require actual Google and GPS because gotcha. Now that makes more sense. The amount of stories I've seen where people have done that and then found out afterwards that they're cousins and they're like, well, shit. Well, shit. A term where you defecate in somebody's water tank, but it's a well. My brain.
I think we're all lost. I wouldn't worry.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't need an atlas or a road map. I can usually find it by pointing my finger in one direction. Although, personally, I would not stick my finger in one direction because I don't swing that way. And I'm pretty sure they don't either.
Would
And
you
if I
please
lost
stop
y'all
throwing
on
up?
that one, y'all need to listen to more music.
Great. I've just had someone walk up the front of my building vomiting.
Well, aren't you closed?
We're not open to the public anyway. It's all. Do you know what? The morning staff can deal with that. That seems like a morning problem.
Well, but isn't it like 4:30 in the morning?
Yeah, the morning crew can deal with it when they come in.
I'm like, I'm doing my shit. The hell with everybody else.
No, fuck that. Someone's throwing up out there. Didn't want to do it. It's
Ooh.
Sunday. They've got nothing better to do.
Why are you open on a Sunday?
Because we provide 24/7 support
Ah,
for people like you.
not me. Unless you
Oh,
run
I
a
reckon
tech
I could get you a
support.
care plan.
I don't do healthcare. Fuck
We'll get
healthcare. Healthcare's bullshit.
We'll get you on the applesauce 3 times a day with Valium.
No, thank you. God damn, I don't even remember the last time I've even eaten applesauce.
I know exactly when. Last week, the MREs I bought.
Ew, oh, gross. They have apples. Oh, nasty.
Yes,
Applesauce and
American
MREs probably
military
taste
issue
like salted
applesauce,
farts.
full of every chemical and no apple.
Yeah, that's not applesauce. It's just something sauce.
I think what happened was they shouted apple loudly while packaging it.
Deb, I saw this post, and then I saw that post, but I'm still. He answered, "Your husband has been lying to your married life. He didn't fire him. It was last night, he bought him a beer." That does not make sense to me.
I think it's a reference to the gentleman sausage and his wife being overly generous with her measurements.
Possibly. I had, okay, so I kid you not, I had a gentleman of darker persuasion ask me one time how big a 9-inch was. And I literally said, "You don't know?" Was not intentional. It just slipped out.
That's what she said.
And I was like, "I'm sorry." And I just pointed to the wall. And after that, I was done because I just could not look at that dude with a straight face the rest of the conversation. And yeah, it was, I'm sorry. It's hard to deal with people that cannot tell the difference. I literally, okay, I asked you, I kid you not, I've had this conversation so many times. Somebody's asked me, how big is a 12-inch pizza? I said a foot.
Give or take 12 inches.
And they just look at me, confused and stumped, as if though I just answered their question with Brazilian quantum physics. And it just baffles me. Like, you live in America and you don't know how big 12 inches is? I'm sorry, did they not teach you that in school?
Okay, I've been to American schools. No.
In your case, makes sense. 12 inches in the UK is probably
12 inches, we still use imperial for the building industry. We use both.
okay. So 12 inches is 12 inches. So that'd be what? 35? I want to say 35 centimeters.
Times by 2.5.
So I'm like, so yeah, 12 inches is almost what?
30 centimeters, give or take.
Oh, 30.48 centimeters.
There you go.
So, yeah, 30.5, give or take. Okay, so I was kind of sort of close. I was off by 6.5 centimeters, but relatively just guessing off that one. But yeah, I mean, it's like the same thing. Like you live in America, you don't know what a foot is. Molly, that's a lot of people, to be honest, in the U.S. because again, it is a skill they do not teach you in school. School teaches you how to regurgitate information that may or may not benefit you 10 years down the road.
Yeah, you just have to learn some numbers and facts.
What they need to teach you in schools is, again, which they didn't even teach me in school, is how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah, pay taxes.
Yeah, exactly. Taxes.
Insure a car. Utilities.
Yeah.
Shopping bill.
They don't tell you how to budget your money. If you make $500 a week, you got to figure out how to budget that between insurance, phone bill, food, rent, car insurance.
Yeah, they don't teach you none of that.
Car payments.
But they'll tell you how many people died on the 15th day of the second battle of the third conflict.
751.3.
Exactly.
That 0.3 was a damn cat.
It's, yes, school doesn't actually teach you anything useful these days.
No, they really don't. To be honest, even when I was a kid, they didn't really teach you anything useful like then either, because it was all, again, regurgitating numbers.
Yeah.
I don't need trigonometry because I'm not a goddamn rocket scientist.
How many people know how to address a letter properly?
This generation, honestly, after millennials, nobody.
None. Exactly.
Thank you. I agree. I have never had to use algebra after that either. I'm not sitting here trying to freaking multiply and divide freaking fractions. I do not work in the construction business. If that was the case, then yes, that would be a very specific function you'd need to learn.
Well, I've never had to find X. They always find me.
I've never had to find an X either. I usually once I'm done with them, that's there. That's the X stays in the corner pocket.
So I worked in the building trade for a while with some real old head builders, the sort of people who have a pencil surgically crafted to their ear. Those sort of builders, leather for skin, hands the size of spades.
Yeah, but even then, you're still never finding you
No,
don't need to find
even they
X
would pull
because
out a smartphone and punch in the numbers. And these are
even if
guys
you're
who have been building
on
since before Noah was in shorts.
Molly, everything was easy until they added the ABCs.
Yeah,
No,
nothing these days
wasn't
requires brain
ABCs.
power.
It was when they added X, Y, and Z.
I've got a scout troop down the road from where I live, so we often see them out and about. And one day I sat in churchyard watching them doing map reading, and I thought, oh, well, it's good skill to have, isn't it? No, they weren't map reading; they were using GPS.
See, this all goes back to a lot of stuff I run into off of like Instagram that technically follows off of TikTok that makes it to Instagram that I run across is the fact that nobody has map skills.
Nah.
When GPS kicks the bucket and there is no longer internet or power, how the shit are you going to find your way around? It's called a road map.
There was a great video from a guy, not particularly older than any of us, explained to a because they're like, what happens if we get lost? He goes, well, I get my map out and I know that to the east of me is a river and to the south of me is a road. I'm going to walk to one of those. And one of the kids turned around and went, how do you know when you found the river?
When you hit the fucking water.
I would guess when the fish are nibbling your earlobe, you've probably found it, mate.
When they're munching on your worm.
Yeah. Do society a favour, lay down.
People go
be the canoe society needs you to be.
Now, I'd get honest. People like that be like, "How do you know when you've hit the like when you found the river?" Someone like you just needs to be excommunicated from life because you're too stupid to.
Night, Molly.
Continue generation. Night, Molly. Have a good one. Catch you on the next one.
Well, I live in a fairly built-up, established town, and if you put my address into a GPS, it sticks you halfway up the hill. Despite numerous attempts to rectify it with various firms. So I don't trust it.
Yeah, I agree with that obstacle. When I was a kid, that was still part of the curricular. You had metal shop, mechanics.
We had wood shop, home ec. Heck, we even had like textiles classes teaching how to mend shirts and trousers.
Damn.
Yeah. Nowadays, I think they do maybe an art class. If they identify that way.
Yeah, you've got what I think nowadays it's because when I was in high school, we had pottery class, we still had metal shop, we still had AutoCAD, or we had mechanics, we had AutoCAD and wood shop. When I was younger, we actually had metal shop, which fell under the category of both welding and smelting.
We had wood shop, metal shop, some sort of art-related activity for those who were scared of a hammer, a textile shop, a home ec class, and a computer class. And yeah, it was all right.
Deb, yeah. So I got that one there, Daniel. Yeah, it's a load of BS. Other that whole horse crap. But this generation can't even sign their own damn names.
No, they can, but they have to spend 20 minutes with their support worker getting ready for it.
Right.
And then they have to do team exercise to take the lid off.
Oh God, the amount of times that GPS has tried to send me when I used to be as a delivery driver for a pizza company. It took my GPS a while to realize where the hell I was. The first few times I tried taking a delivery, that shit tried to send me to Texas. No, dude, I live in New Mexico, bro. Not in Texas. You gonna send me on a 12-hour journey for a delivery? I ain't gonna get there.
Speaking of some youth, there goes some youth walking up the street.
You mean they're walking and not on a Segway?
No, they don't get those. Don't get turned on till 5 a.m.
GPS is good until you hit an area that doesn't have signal, and then you're just like, well, I hope my map is accurate.
So 95% of Michigan.
Right. Now here's the thing though. Before GPS, I mean, even before they like had the invention of like, even before maybe everybody was using like actual localized maps, you're basically just driving down the road on a highway and be like, oh, well, I remember them telling me I got to get off on this exit, so I'm gonna get off on this exit and hope I'm gonna go in the right direction.
Yeah,
If not, you gonna find out 6
GPS
hours
used
later.
to be at the telephone pole, go left, go over 2 bridges, right at the phone box. There's your GPS.
Yeah,
Funnily enough, tended to work.
sometimes, yeah. Well, I hate to say this, but that's how a lot of, I'm not going to say the gender specific, but that's how they worked on when they gave directions. Is like, turn left at this stop sign. You go 3 billboards past this road.
That's
Hang
how
right
men
at
give
the telephone
directions.
pole. You go 4 mailboxes down. You hang another left, and you go to where the cow sign is at.
Yeah.
No roads, no names, just marker points.
That is historically how men gave directions.
At this point, it's not just men that do that now.
Historically.
I won't be a d-hole, but yeah, it goes for both genders for the absolute asinine directions of things. But yeah, for the most part, guys are like, we go somewhere, we see certain things, and we're like, all right, I need to go past this sign. I got to go left here, right 4 blocks down the road at this sign. Yeah,
So
we
there
don't
was
do street names. We
a
do
British
postmarks.
comedian who sort of on this, he was when traveling around the States, he was like, the one thing I learned is about never asking for directions in America unless you're ready for a conversation. You go to a bloke, mate, I'm trying to find this location. He goes, 2 crossroads right, 1 crossroad left, second barn on the right. Take a left. There in 10 minutes. I go up to him, I'm trying to find this address. Oh, what are you going there for?
Right.
He's like, every time I asked.
Damn, that's how she gives directions in my house. Turn left at the cow. What cow? No, I agree with that one. And especially when they put signs above where the top of your data view is at. Jesus Christ, I hate trying to find apartment complexes because for some stupid reason, every time you go to an apartment complex, the damn numbers or the addresses is like on the 2nd floor. I'm like, bro, my window only goes so far. So unless I'm like looking like this, I ain't gonna see that shit.
Not forgetting there is an international ruling that all street signs, if can be covered by a tree, must be.
Yes, same here in the U.S. I would probably say 85 to 90% of road markers, street signs are covered by a tree, a bush, some random ass shrub, or some freaking vine that decided to grow up the post.
I don't know if you guys have them, but we have the greatest road sign, and it just says "sign coming soon."
Right. Obstacle, I was in that boat until I was about 16. I think when I was 16, I got my first cell phone. And that's
I didn't have a cell phone until I was 16. Biggest mistake in my life.
My cell phone did not have GPS, so I still had to learn how to find things by either learning where the direction was or using a goddamn road map.
My cell phone said Motorola. You think that had GPS?
Mine did too.
Barely did phone.
Yeah, I had 3,000 minutes on that bastard for like $60 a month.
I upgraded it to a phone with radio.
Oh, I didn't even have that. Mine barely had phone calls and text messages.
Somewhere in my attic, I still have one of the original Nokia 101s.
Jesus. If you had a 3310, I'd be like, bro,
Yeah,
I bet you that some bitch still works.
it probably does.
I bet you that battery is still probably good after 20 years. I bet you that thing still has like 30% charge.
It was the pinnacle of phone technology.
Deb. Yeah, the 3310 was that phone was nasty powerful.
I still have a reel-to-reel player.
Damn. I actually have for the longest time oh shit. I actually had an 8-track player and I had about 13 freaking 8-track cartridges.
Reel-to-reel, because you really wanted to spend 20 minutes listening to one 5-second song.
Right. It's like
I
a
had
record.
Laserdisc, Betamax.
Didn't have Betamax. I didn't grow up. I was a little before my time, but I had. I actually have a record player that still works.
Yep, got record player.
Damn, Deb, that's crazy.
Seriously, cell phones are the worst invention in the world.
I want to say yes and no at the same time. They're convenient, but God Almighty, the generation nowadays stuck to that damn thing like it's their lifeline.
The irony that I'm watching this on a cell phone.
Well, I mean, you don't exactly have the option of watching it on a laptop or a computer because you're at work. Yeah, I don't think the company would be like, "Oh, he's doing a great job watching YouTube on the company computer." So, I mean, there are the benefits to having personal devices, but at the same time, you're not like glued to it 24/7
No.
while trying to
Oh,
walk
God,
across the
no.
street in an intersection to get hit by a car because you don't realize the light is fucking red.
Well, as someone who travels internationally a lot, have you ever seen? I see it all the time. You get on a plane and you watch the look of terror sinking when they have to turn it off. The moment that plane touches down, it's like junkies and smack. They are right on that phone,
Oh yeah.
and you can actually see like a tangible relief wash through them.
Well, especially when you're on like an 8-hour flight and they're
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, I have connection to the world. Like, bro, you do realize if you would have crashed on that 8-hour flight, it would have still taken 24 to 48 hours before
Yeah.
someone gave two shits about where you crashed.
I can finally talk to people. Mate, you've just flown across a quarter of the globe. 100 years ago, this wasn't possible.
Yeah.
But no, you have to TikTok your silly bathroom dance.
Yep. Or, oh, I took a shit on an airplane on an international flight. Like, no, bro, nobody cares.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a TV till I was 15, I think.
think I was about 5 or 6 when we got a TV, but I don't remember
And
before 5 or 6 because again, too young.
I have owned exactly 2 TVs in my life. The first one I only got rid of when they turned off the analog system, so it wouldn't work.
Rabbit ears.
Yep. And the second one, I still have it. I think I know where it is, and I think it works.
I had one of those big ass clunky tube TVs where
Yeah.
like it was like a 32-inch TV, but that TV weighed like 85 pounds.
We had one with the big silver push buttons on the side of it.
Yes, even the whole TV was a Panasonic. The whole TV was gray, but it had that like slightly curved glass front.
Oh no, it was a wood effect box. That was the actual box for the TV. Big black sort of semi-curved screen, and you had to get off your ass and press the button to change it.
I actually had a remote for mine, luckily. But yeah, no, my original TV, the original TV I grew up with, big old wooden square thing. Damn TV probably weighed about 120 pounds. Only had about 6 channels on it.
Yep.
And then if the picture was fuzzy, you had to go to the back and actually hit. There was a knob for tracking.
So, to give you an idea, even going back to the 80s, 90s, TV still wasn't that big in the UK. Like Sky TV was plumbed into houses for free.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because there wasn't enough.
Damn, that obstacle, that's nuts that you still actually had the 8-track player in it. I have a 95 S10, and that thing actually came with a disc player, or like the cassette disc player.
Yep, mini discs.
No, it wasn't a mini disc. It was actually cassette tapes. The little rectangular things that looked
Yep.
like mini VHSs.
Yeah.
It had that. I have a center console. Actually has like 6 slots in there, 4 cassette tapes.
But don't forget, you must also purchase a cassette owner survival kit or yellow pencil.
Yes. Well, I use a ballpoint pen because the cap on the ballpoint pen does that real quick like. But here's the thing. I still have the radio somewhere in the shed or in one of my storage boxes for that truck. I never got rid of it. I put a modern CD player in there, which plays like MP3s. It even played the like mini CDs, like the mini discs.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to jump off here and actually do some work.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it here in about a minute anyway, because we've gone for quite a bit of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I think we're going to end it.
I would like
Rob,
to say
thanks
it's
for
been a
popping up.
pleasure, but that would make me a liar.
Yeah, you know you had some pleasure. But anyways, thank you for popping up here, Rob. It was awesome to have you up here.
No worries.
The
You can
whole
gloat
time,
at Colin
you did
next
not
time you
once
see him.
say HDMI or HCP. Probably one of the funniest British things I like legit ever hear is the H. Just because of the way the pronunciation, and it's nothing against you, but like I said, I've worked with British people before. It's just funny hearing them say that.
I can't hate the English. One of my subordinates was English.
See, and again, it really just depends on whether or not it's the Queen's English or English.
Well, you just have to remember the way you guys look at Florida is the way the rest of the world looks at you.
Fuck no, you got to realize we got Florida man and Alabama man, so we got 2 different versions of that shit, and you do not put them 2 in the same arena because that's going to be a long drawn out fight. But anyways, Rob, I'll let you get back to work. You have yourself a great day. I'll catch you on the next one. As
See
for
you
everybody
later.
else, Obstacle, Grace, all those who are left, Daniel, Tiffany, Deb, you all have a great night, and I will catch you all on the next one. This is going to be Fox Outdoors, and that guy right there, quick and leaving quickly, signing off. Be well, be safe. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Bye, and toodaloo.